Good evening, Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Curvin, and this is Rantin Randy's Rant for uh, February 8th, 2020. I tell you what, this has been a rough week for all of us. Uh, I've got a lot to go through, but first, for anyone coming in new, I'd like to explain what days of the week I do YouTube, what days of the week that I do my Facebook. Facebook is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and YouTube is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So, getting that out of the way, and I've also started adding to my notice of each of my rants. I'm going to try to do this in the future. I will give uh, Eastern time, Central time, Mountain time, and Pacific time. That way, there's no confusion on getting here. Hello, Dave, and welcome. Um, Having said that, let's get into some of this shit. 2 hours ago, a white nationalist group marched on through Washington, D.C. I'm going to be looking at that. It's on my notification, so I can go out and look at that after I get through. How's everybody doing? I see a new person out there, Aline Kavanaugh. Welcome. Aha, Connecticut. All right, you got more snow coming. I wish you could luck out like we did. We had a quarter of an inch at most, and it snowed all yesterday. But we were out of the bulk of it. The bulk of it was headed to over into Chicago area and going northeast from there. I also wanted to mention something that's been slowing me up. My glasses have prisms in them, plus there's a small crack on the right lens at the top. And I know they're getting bad because I have to concentrate to keep both eyes on a keyboard because my right eye tends to wander to my right unless I concentrate on what I'm doing, and that can become a problem with my keyboard and being able to see it properly. Makes me a little slower, but knowing that in December of 2020, I have to get another 6-year license, so I'm going to have to start working on getting more lenses. Another thing is the little feet on my nose. I have to tip it to make sure they stay straight. I will. Hello, Mary. Hello, George. Hello, Maria. All right. Hello, Velda. All right. I think I've got everybody covered for right now. And I know that there are 11 out there right now. And more people are telling me they are not able to comment on the live chat. Hello, Bernadette. Just saw you come in there, girl. Glad to have you aboard today. I'm glad you're over your illness and back at it again. We need that voice, girl. Let's see. Where do we get started other than damn, 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 damn? Well, they loosed the Kraken on us, and he's proven that he is truly nasty. And I don't want to hear the Republicans whining and bitching about what they have set loose. They did it. They let him become, he can become a monarch now that you've said that nothing he does under the Article 2 is uh, illegal. AG Barr has decided all investigations in 2020 must be cleared by him. And we already know the only ones he's going to clear for investigations will be against the candidates that are Democrats. He basically did it to sew it up to where Donnie cannot be investigated or anybody in his campaign, which, that's Giuliani and the whole 9 yards with Mulvaney. You can't look into them. Donnie will now go after government witnesses he started yesterday. He's gone after his own Gordon Sondland and bringing him back from the EU. So he will no longer be there. He will be going after federal prosecutors. He's going after Mitt Romney, John Bolton, House Democrats, and the media. And again, yesterday was just the beginning, and Republicans are going to find this out. But so far, I don't think it's going to shake them at all. They justify everything he does as being he has the right to do that. I have had to reposition my mic. I noticed on Facebook yesterday a little problem when I went back this ways and I had the mic over here at the edge. My voice dropped. So I've got it muted. So the internal mic is not working. I've also moved it closer to me where I don't have to stand right over it to be heard. All right. Let's see what else. And everybody knows that Stephen Mnuchin has gone after the taxes of Hunter Biden, but yet they can't do what the law says. They'll do it with Hunter. It says shall turn over tax records. The exception is it has to be their enemy, Donnie's enemy, that they go after. All right, I already covered that. Saturday Night Massacre by the Trump regime. As Donnie throws our Constitution for his reelection, because he's now untouchable. You can't do anything about him. And what do we have in Washington, D.C.? White nationalist group marching now. And of course, he'll say there are good people on their side too. It's all just one great big shit show. And let me read down through this. Oh, I'll just hit some high points on this. And I forgot one little thing over here. What was it? Oh, yeah. This is only the beginning. He got away with his bad behavior and has been validated. So now he proves he will keep doing the same. There's going to be no change in what he does. And all right, I already got that. And see, they're claiming that's not revenge. You know what the big thing is for them right now? The big thing for them right now is going after Nancy Pelosi, saying it was illegal for her to stand back there and tear up a copy of his damn speech after she was snubbed by him and by Pence. When you look at the videotape, neither one of them would shake hands with her. That's just childish. That's all that is. Of course, we expected that from Mike Pence because He's Mr. Roboto. Anything that Donnie wants, and he stares at the back of his head like he wants to undress the man. November 11th, 2019, Mark Esper, no retaliation. That's the law. Vindman and his brother were escorted off the White House grounds. They haven't been fired, they've been reassigned. But because one was related to the other, he got fired too. Okay. Esper still claimed up until 4 hours before he was asked if there would be any retaliation. He said no retaliation. And then his commander-in-chief did exactly that. Of course, that's not the way the Republicans in the Senate and the House see it. They've only been fired from the White House. They couldn't have them in there because they wouldn't kiss Donnie's butt. And John Bolton, the regime wants to block the publishing of his book. Trump is looking into criminally investigating John Bolton. That's another example. He is exacting revenge exactly like we all said he would. Bunch of shit. And this is not the worst of it. And they were all against any more new witnesses. Just think of it. If we'd had new witnesses, John Bolton had to come in against Donnie's will. They would probably have him in a jail cell by now. Any witness and those who don't show loyalty to the supreme leader are in for trouble. And he proved it yesterday. Just think back to all those firings. I lost count watching Rachel. I think it was up close to 100 that either he fired or they left on their own. A lot of names come to mind: Tillerson, John Kelly, and a whole lot of others. And I will go on to say the regime denied Comey was fired because of not being loyal. Now we're seeing that's what he wants. He is now letting everybody know he has to have loyalty. And that's only because you damn Republicans in our capital have emboldened and empowered him. You're going to learn to regret it when we vote all your asses out. You don't like what they're doing? Vote them out. Vote them out. And there's no question, and this according to the Lieutenant Colonel Vindman's attorney, that he was fired for telling the truth. And if you look at each one, that's why they're being fired from the White House, because they can't trust them because they won't kiss Donnie's butt. Congressman Zeph Moulton was on last night, asked when Esper will find the red line that he resigns. Somewhere along the line, he's going to learn what we have here is Germany 1939. It's amazing. It's between the Russians and Donnie's fondness of Adolf Hitler, which we know from his first wife, he used to read Mein Kampf. and Hitler's speeches at night. Jennifer Williams, Senator Murphy is asking why the documents that were classified, they got to see it in a closed environment where they could all look at it, and they had it classified, so it was all redacted. And there's no reasoning in that, and they will not explain why it was classified because Donnie didn't want anybody to know what was happening with in Pence's office. Shit, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out all this shit. He is asking the government accountability office about it. That leads us to the GSA. Questions to them. They would not answer whether Trump could sell Trump International Hotel to a foreign power. She would not answer that question. The NSA is no good anymore because Donnie is stuck his hands into every agency out there to cover up the fact that Donnie has profited. He's a lot richer person than when he went in office. And I think that was his plan from the very start. Well, in fact, I know it was. And Donnie has been lying about the fees charged, $650 a night at Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster. We also know now that the Secret Service is covering up too. They were supposed to turn in 6 reports by now on the cost of protecting the President of the United States. There have only filed 2 reports in all this time, and that's on the Trump children and what it cost there. In those 2 reports, they left the lines for Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster blank. The Freedom of Information Act is going to be looking into that. All right. I've already covered this that I just saw in this paragraph. And of course, everybody knows that the senators, they're the ones that enabled him to do what he did yesterday. And of course, he has the power to do it. I agree. He has the power to do it, but his reasoning for doing it is what stinks. Okay, I already covered that. And the argument last night, this was on Cuomo primetime. Congressman Mike Johnson, Republican, saying that tearing up POTUS's speech was illegal. Cuomo kept telling him, no, it's not. It's not like they don't have other copies that already had his signature on it that they can place. It eventually ends up going in the archives. They've got it. Now, she did go against decorum in the House. But what the hell? She got snubbed. He wouldn't just handed it to her like, here you go. And they want to make a big deal out of that, where we had that shit show, and it was strictly pushing and pandering for the black vote while pushing the right-wing agenda, the Medal of Freedom. That's still unbelievable to Rush Limp Dick. And we all know the Tuskegee Airman, the only one left, got a gold star instead of the Medal of Freedom. This country is in a sorry shape, and many have said it was like a game show. Come on down. That's all he knows. Make it like a reality show. And we can count on the Republicans will cover up any and everything he does, saying he has the right to do it. And they don't care whether it's legal or not. And this I got in the last hour or so. We are and are going through and going to be bombarded with disinformation, conspiracy theories, and propaganda against the Democrats on social media. Regardless of that, we still have number one, state TV, Fox Spews, with their press secretary, Stephanie Grisham, who more and more reminds me of the lady they have in North Korea that reports the news. How long before Fox, other than prime time, has her make a report of all the wonderful things Supreme Leader is up to? Damn it. Damn it. And the reason they like that is Stephanie Grisham faces no questions. She just is asked some stupid question, and it's always the bad guys are the Democrats. And we're also fighting against two other right wing networks, plus, right here in this town, both CBS and ABC here in Kirksville, Missouri, is Sinclair Broadcast. I'm kind of glad. I'm going to have to take my antenna down because I do get Big Fox out of Ottumwa, Iowa, which is 65 miles away from where I'm sitting right here. But they have, in less than 2 blocks, they've got a rebroadcast station right down the street from us. But basically, Sinclair has got ABC, CBS here, and they are all over the network TV stations for local is now putting in their right wing bullshit into the local. In this town, they hardly got enough to fill 30 minutes, and they do a whole hour. So that gives Sinclair a lot of time to put on right wing bullshit. And I'm kind of glad I don't get it, but I'm going to try cleaning up this window over here where the antenna is and see if I can start picking it up. Mind you, I don't care. This is a little town. There ain't all that much shit going on here. I frankly don't care, you know, what's going on in the courthouse over here 2 blocks away, 3 blocks away. Let's see. All right, covered that page, people. I'm moving along. I also want to talk about something. I'll take the time right now to do it. What we're going to find out, and Brian and I were talking about it today, is that when it comes to Medicare for all, A lot of the doctors, like here in Kirksville, Missouri, uh, I'm not sure where the company is, but I know that our Northeast Regional Medical Center is located, their management and their ownership is in Nashville, Tennessee. None of these companies want Medicare for all because they can't rip off that the way they can uh, with, for one thing, Medicare for all will improve service to everyone, vision care like I don't have now, dental care for someone like my wife. Uh, they don't want that because they cannot rob them like they can a regular insurance company. And that looks like basically I've got it for that. But we've got to get out and keep fighting this. Uh, this is turning into more of a battle. After seeing that report on the disinformation and conspiracy theories, little sound bites that they take out of context to make us and the Democrats in the House look bad. And it's only beginning. This is nowhere near the end. It's going to get even worse. And it's going to make for a hell of a battle. What we have got to do is get just as nasty as they are. Uh, for instance, I'm saying vote blue no matter who. But in that, no more of this, we're going forward, we're not looking back. Those involved in this taking over and pissing all over our Constitution has to be stopped, and they must go to prison. People like Giuliani, Mick Mulvaney, all those in the loop, put their ass in prison after we take back both houses of Congress and the presidency. It's got to be done. It has to end somewhere. All right, I'm seeing 14 out there. I've got great attendance. Hope I got to everyone. I do understand that part of you cannot comment there, but you ought to be able, after this is over, you should be able to go down, like, share, subscribe, and down below that, you can put in your comments. There shouldn't be stopping you on that. I don't understand why a bunch of you cannot be on here doing like Brian and Velda and Bernadette, commenting on all this. But we deal with what we can, and maybe one of these days we'll get that figured out. But we all know that Facebook is basically going to allow any kind of lies. So get ready. You're going to get hit by all kind of false shit. You're going to see more bots. Some are Russian. Some are probably even Israeli. Some are Arabs. And some are Turks. So we have got to be on the lookout for them. And they ain't going to be welcome. And we will let them know that. All right. We'll let you go. We got 16 out there, 6 likes. This has been great, and this has been enjoyable for me. Oh, all right, Velda. Oh, I always feel better after I get through with this. Donnie is a big help on doing that. If I keep you entertained and informed as a blue dot, you're not required to help me monetarily. I will put this up here at this time where your cards and letters are appreciated also. Keeps me going, keeps my spirits lifted. Also, I will be adding it to YouTube after this is over. And I want to thank each and every one of you for giving up some of your time to come listen to this old Georgia boy tell you about my view on things and what I've learned. You keep me informed, I keep you informed. Uh, have a good one. We are the Guardians of Liberty. And to anybody new, go over and join JBS Blue Dot family. Become a part and a member of the Blue Dot family. At this time, I will let you go. I'm looking forward to my day off, but you know, my day off is usually researching for Monday on Facebook. Uh, I'm glad that I could get out here today and see what's going on. And when I review this in real time, hello, Daphne. All right. And I get to see all these comments that you make in real time when I review this. I still do that because I hope that the microphone hadn't been up and down in volume because I've been close to it. I'm going to have to get used to it being right here on my right elbow, but I think it'll work better that way. Have a good evening. Enjoy your Saturday. And Grace and I are going to see if we can find uh, a movie out of our movie package to be able to view. Probably won't view it tonight, uh, but I always record stuff on DVR. Uh, really enjoyed some stuff this morning. I recorded, I think it comes on at about 5 something in the morning, the Monkees. And that's where I got my inspiration for a lot of my music today. Some of it seemed very fitting for what we're going through. And along with that's another thing I enjoy is bringing you my favorite music uh, on the timeline. And I can't even keep count with how many music groups I'm in. I'm also with the Gators as an administrator, as well as some of our Blue Dot uh, type family that's out there. I know they all consider themselves Blue Dot family, so I'm safe in that. I'm an administrator on enough as well as my own. I'm thinking about uh, firing up my page again. That would allow me to put my not have to go out there and every time and set up my PayPal me, Randall Carvin, uh, for every time I do a YouTube or a Facebook. So I may be opening that back up, and that could be a primary source for me to put out these rants that everybody could reach. Veldo is good enough. I believe these YouTubes are going to be available in Discord also. So I appreciate that, Velda. I will let y'all go. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself. Take some downtime. Listen to some music. Get yourself back together because we've got a primary coming up on Tuesday that we're all going to be keeping our eyes on. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself this weekend, and I will see you Monday on Facebook. Bye bye now. Share this shit. Wait a minute. There we go. Share this shit. Get it out there. Help me out. Bye bye.